You're such goobers. Okay,
We're
let's see how
goobers.
cute my cat is.
Yes.
Here she is.
Oh, so cute. Oh, soul food. Num nums.
She's so cute. I just got her that little like hammocky thing to be her co-pilot seat when I'm working because she wanted to be close to me and I don't like have a place to put a basket on the desk or anything.
Yeah.
She loves it, so I've just been kind of dragging it around wherever I am.
Nice. Oh, I fully expected Shippo's cat climbing tower of Babel to have disintegrated because I put it out on the porch because it's huge, and it never did. It's still, it's probably not in great shape if I tried to move it, but there's a different place I want to put it where it would still be under the eaves, but it wouldn't be quite as protected. And I'm like, I just want to see how long this damn thing's gonna last.
I mean, they're pretty sturdy. I also have a very tall one for Junie right over here by the couch.
Nice.
It's quite well made.
Right? But it is MDF, so eventually it will dissolve.
I mean, sure.
I watched Shippo chase a squirrel was trying to harvest the carpet, and Shippo chased it off, and they haven't tried that since. Shippo's almost 6 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of small creatures that are older than you might think, Felix started preschool today.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
Stacey
my
sent me a
goodness.
picture of him wearing a backpack.
Like, why'd you put a baby in a backpack?
I asked who allowed him to get that big. She's not sure.
Avi doesn't start until the 30th, but you know his birthday is on the 10th, and he's gonna be 10.
Wow.
10 on the 10th, so it's his golden birthday and his double digits. I am clearly just searching for reasons to buy him the Lego Millennium Falcon. I will not deny that it's a thing he's wanted since he was 5, but it's $180, so I'm like. However, if you divide 180 by the number of years that he has stated it as a desire, then it's a lot cheaper.
I would kick in on a Lego Millennium Falcon.
Sweet. I'll let Jason know. I think we could use more help with. Well, I need to be pulling in an income. That's all.
Anyways,
we're okay. We're good, but we hemorrhage money. There's when you have 8 people in a house, everything's so expensive. We got burgers tonight. It was $100, like for fast food.
Yeah, there's just a lot of you.
There's a lot of us. Most of them did start school today. Oh. Sebastian did not. I was like up early to see them all off, and then I was trying to be useful around the house. What is going on with my hair? And I forgot that Sebastian hadn't left, so I gathered up a bunch of his stuff and went and like stomping into his room, and this face popped up out of the bed, and I was like, ah! Yep. Is Goober me?
She's so cute right now. She's doing the like deep breathing, almost snoring thing. Oh God, she's so cute. I'm sorry. I'm just
sorry for praising your cat.
Well, okay. I gotta show you what I'm talking about here.
Show.
Oh, which way? There we go.
No.
You see her little sides, just like.
So cute. Very relaxing.
Just something about a cat orb just really gets me.
Yeah. It is one of the best forms of cat.
Indeed. I don't know why my hair. Well, I know why my hair is doing what it's doing. I don't have enough pins in it, and it's not really long enough to pull back, but I did anyway.
Nice.
It's my yoga dude ponytail.
Love the yoga dudeness. Mine's getting longer than it was, and I don't know how much I like it. I'm shedding like a freaking Saint Bernard. Every couple hours, I'm like,
Sometimes, so I have this awesome little like squeegee thing that gets cat hair off of furniture. And sometimes I'm like, the cat's been shedding, and I use it, and then I'm like, the cat doesn't have purple hair. So
it's you.
it is.
Goodness, what else did we have to share? Television or things, movies. Have you seen The Suicide Squad? Did we talk about this?
I think you mentioned it, but I have not seen it. I don't think that I have access to where it's airing. I don't know where it's airing.
HBO?
Probably. I mean, I don't have any of. I have Netflix and Hulu, and that's it. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's HBO. Although I wouldn't swear to it because we've got all of them because Jason works for the television industry. So
yeah, I mean,
you just end up with all of the things. Should you get an opportunity to watch it, do.
I've heard very good things.
I enjoyed it super muchly. Expect gore, like over the top gore. Otherwise, yeah, it's there no other warnings required. Although I learned afterwards that King Shark was Sylvester Stallone, and that would have added to my enjoyment. So I'll go ahead and share that now.
You know what adds to my enjoyment of the King Shark character is that he has canonically dated John Constantine.
Yes.
There's a scene in one of the comic books where like King Shark and Harley walk up, and John Constantine goes, "Oh bollocks, it's my ex." Someone's like, "You and Harley? Gross." He's like, "No, do I look insane?" And then King Shark just winks.
Oh, Margot Robbie is so good.
She's so good. I love her as Harley. I mean, you saw Birds of Prey, right?
Yes. This one's got some scenes at least the equal of those. There's no male gaze. There's no male gaze on Harley in this movie.
Finally.
None. It's 100% like, yeah. And watch for this, because this was something I sort of noticed, but Jason said he didn't. Wait, no, this is something I did already tell you. Her hair isn't the Joker red and blue.
Yeah, it's red and black. Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. And the other thing that was we've watched Masters of the Universe, but that might not be, like, you didn't grow up on He-Man, so I don't know if it would affect you the way it affects me.
Is this the 80s Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren?
No. The new rebooted cartoon that is a continuation of the 80s cartoon. Except the animation is 100 times better, but it literally like follows straight off the back end. All of the characters are the same design. They didn't do like She-Ra, where they just threw out everything pretty much and came up with something frankly better. Not as much better as I wanted it to be. The animation was disappointing, but He-Man takes the same character designs, updates them barely and in story, like someone gets a haircut because they're mad, not because that's just, yeah.
But at the risk of requesting spoilers, is it He-Man that gets the haircut?
No, but his hair is more kind of floofy and twinky than, just a straight page boy. So it works.
Did you just describe He-Man as a twink?
Well, Adam is. Actually, so they did do a redesign on Adam, because instead of just being He-Man but with different clothes on, he really is a small, slender young man, which is why it makes sense that his friends didn't know who he was.
Okay, sure.
But, they got Lena Headey to be Evelyn.
Very nice.
They did, and Kevin Smith wrote it, and he's a much better writer than the writers they found for the original show.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
a writer to
So
start
some
with.
of the conversations are really profound, but you hear Eva Lynn talking to Orko and delivering these lines, and you're like, I want to kiss you on the lips, Lena. She's
The gayest thing you've ever said.
very good. That's only because we changed the subject off of Margot Robbie so quickly.
It's more with villains and queer coding is a thing. Anyway.
Oh.
Sometimes I say queer coding, but I think clear coding, very different concepts.
Very much so, yeah. That's not the same thing at all. And I don't know whether queer coding is derogatory or not.
No, it's not. Queer baiting is derogatory.
Okay.
Queer coding is just a way of saying that, like, there are elements of this character that read as queer.
Very much so.
But it's not like a bad thing.
And Mark Hamill is Skeletor. Oh my god. It's like they took my nostalgia, or they took the old show and they put it through the filter of my nostalgia. So it's as good as I remember it being, even though I know objectively if I went back and watched it, it would be hot lump of garbage. But it's like it's been nostalgia filtered for me, and now that show exists, and I'm like, and Orko was always my favorite. He gets so many good scenes. Okay, I'm done.
It's delightful. That sounds great. Have we talked about Good Omens season 2?
No, I have not seen any info about Yawn.
I have seen only what I know from following Neil Gaiman on Tumblr, which is that it is the story that he and Terry would have written, that they like talked about writing as a sequel, but never had time to.
Is it a prequel or a sequel?
It's a sequel.
So the further adventures of Agnes Nutter get discussed or are relevant?
I don't know.
I'm not going to question when Neil Gaiman says Terry and I would have written this. That is absolutely canon now.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's the further adventures of Crowley and Aziraphale, and that's all I know about it.
That's all we need, really. Because with all of the things I loved about the show, they really didn't get the kids right. And they didn't have enough Agnes. And that's my only complaints. I want more Mike McKean as Shadwell. I want him living with Madame Tracy, except that now she's not Madame Tracy anymore.
I mean, she might still be Madame Tracy, just not like Madame Tracy.
Right? It was weird that they had her dress all conservative in the last scene. I'm like, they made that up. That's not what I pictured. It's okay. The show doesn't have to be the book. Oh, Avi got to see Shelob last night.
Oh, yeah?
Book. Yeah, that's how far we've gotten there. We're rapidly catching up.
Oh, you're going to finish with him way before you and I do.
It's true. And I was remembering us discussing how did they not know it was called, like, how did they not know she would be there? It was called Spider Pass.
Yeah. Just surprised Pikachu face a spider in Spider Pass.
Like, and then there was maybe it's they thought there would be lots of paths branching like a spider.
Or just anyway. A lot of little spider. Anyway,
spiders. It was named after Senor Spider, who discovered it. Spider. That would be Monsieur, wouldn't it? Monsieur Spider.
Yes. And also, I like that Middle Earth has French and Spanish now.
That's what's out east. That's why we don't go that way, because they'll just end up in France.
I mean, Tolkien was British, so that kind of checks out.
All right. I have
Okay.
lost my thing, but you start reading and I'll find my thing. Oh, there it is.
I have also lost a thing, the thing being where we were. So it's going to take a sec.
Oh, crap. Kingship, said Pippin amazed. Yes, said Gandalf, if you have walked all these days with closed ears and mind asleep, wake up now. He knocked on the door, and then we discussed how now would be a really bad time to wake up because he's not supposed to talk about it.
Like, actually stay asleep for another, 10 to 25 minutes. The door opened, but no one could be seen to open it. Hello. Pippin looked into a great hall. It was lit by deep windows in the wide aisles at either side, beyond the rows of tall pillars that upheld the roof. Monoliths of black marble, they rose to great capitals carved in many strange figures of beasts and leaves, and far above, in shadow, the wide vaulting gleamed with dull gold, inset with flowing traceries of many colors. This is just reminding me, did you hear about the cathedral carving that was recently found?
No.
So there's this cathedral, and
wait. Is it the balls?
Yes. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a dude with no pants on. Yes.
Yeah. It's a cock and balls front and center with a guy grinning. It reminded me of a Shilana geek, actually. Just a male inclusive Shilana geek.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, the commentary I saw about it was like, and this is another thing that looks similar. So yeah. I just thought it was funny that they were renovating it to make it a restaurant, and they put in these windows to make it light and airy, and they're like, and that's a dick.
I didn't hear the backstory. I just saw the picture. So
yeah, he carved it where no one could see it at the time and for the following 500 years. And then, they knocked out some walls to put in windows because they were making it a trendy restaurant. And that's how they found it.
And there are some people like, no, he didn't do that just to say fuck the church. The church told him to paint that because they were really into things, the symbolism and stuff. And it was probably part of the sanctioned whatevers. And I'm like, yeah, and the Dark Night of the Soul was about Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, there are many factions of the Catholic Church that are really big fans of dicks, but I don't think that they officially commissioned an artist to put them in there. Okay, where was I? Oh, yes. The wide vaulting gleamed with dull gold and set with flowing traceries of many colors. Probably not dicks.
You never know.
It's not clear.
Yeah, could be. They definitely didn't do it justice in the movie, though. They wanted something a little more austere.
No hangings, nor storied webs, nor any things of woven stuff or of wood were to be seen in that long, solemn hall. But between the pillars there stood a silent company of tall images graven in cold stone. Okay, see, it says tall images. It does not say that they had pants on.
Okay, headcanon. Absolutely accepted. The statues of the old kings are all balls out. Because why the hell wouldn't they be?
I mean, noblesse oblige, man.
Right?
Okay. Suddenly, Pippin was reminded of the hewn rocks of Argonath, and awe fell on him as he looked down that avenue of kings long dead.
Ow.
Aw. At the far end, upon a dais of many steps, was set a high throne under a canopy of marble shaped like a crowned helm. Behind it was carved upon the wall and set with gems an image of a tree in flower. But the throne was empty. At the foot of the dais, upon the lowest step, which was broad and deep, there was a stone chair.
When you think about it, that's a very Thai image. The throne with the umbrellas over it is a very...
Maybe. I mean, I guess. I don't know if Tolkien would have known that, though.
No, probably not. But it does mean that... And he's constantly describing them as pale-skinned, which we can read as Anglo, but Southeast Asians can have pale skin. The Numenorians could all look Japanese. You know?
Yeah, no, it checks out.
You're right?
Or they could be like Mongolian, because then that would also explain like having lighter eyes.
Right, the gray eyes. And in that case, Arwen and Luthien and such could also have that cast of features, because that would have that ethereal quality to it. If you were reading it and wanted to picture any such, you could.
Indeed. That would be some cool fan art.
It would be beautiful.
Let's see. At the foot of the dais, upon the lowest step, which was broad and deep, there was a stone chair, black and unadorned, and on it sat an old man gazing at his lap. In his hand was a white rod with a golden knob. I'm sorry, but we were just talking about dicks, so I can't. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Don't you malign it. Don't talk about the golden knob.
I just don't think any of us want to think about Denethor's dick. He did not look up. Solemnly, they paced the long floor towards him until they stood 3 paces from his footstool. His footstool? He has a footstool?
Yep.
He's just like kicked back on his lazy boy.
Or he's sitting bolt upright, but he's got really short legs. Farquaad style.
I was just thinking that. Some of you may die, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. Then Gandalf spoke. Hail, Lord and Steward of Minas Tirith, Denethor, son of Ecthelion. I am come with counsel and tidings in this dark hour. Then the old man looked up. Pippin saw his carven face with its proud bones and skin like ivory, and the long curved nose between the dark, deep eyes. And he was reminded not so much of Boromir as of Aragorn. Dark indeed is the hour, said the old man, and at such times you all want to come, Mithrandir. But though all the signs forebode that the doom of Gondor is drawing nigh, less now to me is that darkness than my own darkness. It has been told to me that you bring with you one who saw my son die. Is this he? It is, said Gandalf, one of the twain. The other is with Theoden of Rohan, and may come thereafter. Halflings they are, as you see, yet this is not he of whom the omens spoke. Yet a halfling still, said Denethor grimly. And little love do I bear the name, since those accursed words came to trouble our counsels, and drew away my son on the wild errand to his death. My Boromir, now we have need of you. Varamir should have gone in his stead. He would have gone, said Gandalf. Be not unjust in your grief. Boromir claimed the errand and would not suffer any other to have it. He was a masterful man and one to take what he desired. I journeyed far with him and learned much of his mood. But you speak of his death. You have had news of that ere we came? I have received this, said Denethor, and laying down his rod, he lifted it from his lap the thing that he had been gazing at. In each hand he held up one half of a great horn cloven through the middle, a wild ox horn bound with silver. That is the horn that Boromir always wore, cried Pippin.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Look, it's never going to be as bad as the a diversion.
Yes.
I saw a GIF the other day that was just him, and it was like his internal monologue, like, okay, Orly, you can do this. You just have to act. You're going to act the shit out of it. Ready? You can do this. A diversion. Nailed it. Oh, buddy. Verily, said Denethor, and in my turn I bore it. And so did each eldest son of our house, far back into the vanished years before the failing of the kings.
Next
Since
time
before
someone
I'm-
says something obvious to me, I'm going to respond with verily.
Yea, verily, yea. Since Vorondil, father of Mardil, hunted the wild kine of Ara in the far fields of Rune. Okay, name dropper. Whatever. I heard it blowing dim upon the northern marches 13 days ago, and the river brought it to me broken. It will wind no more. He paused, and there was a heavy silence. Suddenly he turned his black glance upon Pippin. What say you to that, halfling? 13 days, faltered Pippin. Yes, I think that would be so. Yes, I stood beside him as he blew the horn. But no help came, only more orcs. So, said Denethor, looking keenly at Pippin's face. You were there? Tell me more. Why did no help come? And how did you escape, yet he did not, so mighty a man as he was, and only orcs to withstand him? Pippin flushed and forgot his fear. The mightiest man may be slain by one arrow, he said, and Boromir was pierced by many. When last I saw him, he sank beside a tree and plucked a black feathered shaft from his side. Then I swooned and was made captive. I saw him no more and know no more, but I honor his memory, for he was very valiant. He died to save us, my kinsman Meriadoc and myself, waylaid in the woods by the soldiery of the Dark Lord. And though he fell and failed, my gratitude is none the less. And then Pippin looked the old man in the eye, for pride stirred strangely within him, still stung by the scorn and suspicion in that cold voice. Little service, no doubt, will so great a lord of men think to find in a hobbit, a halfling from the northern shire. Yet, such as it is, I will offer it in payment of my debt. Twitching aside his grey cloak, Pippin drew forth his small sword and laid it at Denethor's feet. A pale smile, like a gleam of cold sun on a winter's evening, passed over the old man's face. But he bent his head and held out his hand, laying the shards of the horn aside. Give me the weapon, he said. Pippin lifted it and presented it to him, and presented the hilt to him. Whence came this? Said Denethor. Many, many years lie on it. Surely this is a blade wrought by our own kindred in the north, in the deep past. It came out of the mounds that lie on the borders of my country, said Pippin. But only evil wights dwell there now, and I will not willingly tell more of them. I see that strange tales are woven about you, said Denethor. And once again it is shown that looks may belie the man, or the halfling. I accept your service, for you are not daunted by words, and you have courteous speech, strange though the sound of it may be to us in the south. We shall have need of all folk of courtesy, be they great or small, in the days to come. Swear to me now. Take the hilt, said Gandalf, and speak after the Lord, if you are resolved on this. I am, said Pippin. The old man laid the sword along his lap, and Pippin put his hand to the hilt, and said slowly after Denethor, Here do I swear fealty and service to Gondor, and to the Lord and Steward of the realm, to speak and to be silent, to do and to let be, to come and to go, in need or plenty, in peace or war, in living or dying, from this hour henceforth, until my Lord release me, or death take me, or the world end. So say I, Peregrine, son of Paladin, of the Shire of the Halflings. And this do I hear, Denethor, son of Icthillion, Lord of Gondor, Steward of the High King, and I will not forget it, nor fail to reward that which is given. Fealty with love, and valor with honor, oath-breaking with vengeance. Then Pippin received back his sword and put it in its sheath. And now, said Denethor, my first command to you, speak and be not silent. Tell me your full tale, and see that you recall all you can of Boromir, my son. Sit now and begin. As he spoke, he struck a small silver gong that stood near his footstool, and at once servants came forward. Pippin saw then that they had been standing in alcoves on either side of the door, unseen, as he and Gandalf entered. What a boring job that must be.
Oh my god, it's gotta be so friggin' boring.
I'm just going to stand here still on this stone floor, presumably without even a cushion,
For
for
something
hours.
like hours, yeah, 8 hours, on the off chance that someone needs to gain entry.
Or that someone needs something.
Yeah.
Denethor wants a snack, anything. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Bring wine and food and seats for the guests, said Denethor, and see that none trouble us for 1 hour. It is all that I have to spare, for there is much else to heed, he said to Gandalf. Much of more import, it may seem, and yet to me less pressing. But maybe we can speak again at the end of the day. And earlier it is to be hoped, said Gandalf, for I have not ridden hither from Isengard 150 leagues with the speed of wind, only to bring you one small warrior, however courteous. Is it not to you that Theoden has fought a great battle, and that Isengard is overthrown, and that I have broken the staff of Saruman? It is much to me, but I know already sufficient of these deeds for my own counsel against the menace of the East. He turned his dark eyes on Gandalf, and now Pippin saw a likeness between the two, and he felt the strain between them, almost as if he saw a line of smoldering fire drawn from eye to eye that might suddenly burst into flame. Denethor looked indeed much more like a great wizard than Gandalf did, more kingly, beautiful, and powerful, and older. Yet by a sense other than sight, Pippin perceived that Gandalf had the greater power and the deeper wisdom, and a majesty that was veiled. And he was older, far older. How much older? He wondered. And then he thought how odd it was that he had never thought about it before. Treebeard had said something about wizards, but even then he had not thought of Gandalf as one of them. What was Gandalf? In what far time and place had he come into the world? And when would he leave it?
And why hasn't he been burned as a witch like the other Highlanders?
Look, there can only be one. And then his musings broke off, and he saw that Denethor and Gandalf still looked each other in the eye, as if reading the other's mind. But it was Denethor who first withdrew his gaze. Yea, he said. Yea, verily yea.
Verily yea.
Although the stones be lost, they say, still the lords of Gondor have keener sight than lesser men, and many messages come to them. But sit now.
But I don't have a Palantir.
Right? I'm like, but I'm not an alien. But I don't have a Palantir. I see things. Don't ask how. It's not important. Has to do with my lordship.
Yeah.
Definitely that. Definitely
Totally
not
lordship.
any sort of cursed object that I may or may not be staring at a lot.
No, indeed. Not a glowing cursed object, especially.
Oh, no.
He's got a dolphin.
Dolphin.
It is a Tronda's Tide, by the way.
Yes, I know.
Happy Tronda's Tide.
Happy Tide. I actually know that because I just adjusted the calendar today and was like, oh.
That's so funny. Well, totally. I'll L. Ron Hubbard this world at some point. We'll get everybody celebrating early in holidays.
Please don't L. Ron Hubbard anything. Please do something a little more ethical.
But then celebrities will pay us.
I don't want celebrities to pay us. I have started a pleasant sufficiency of cults. I don't need any more. What was I going to say? Something about cursed objects. Oh, at one point this spring, and I never got around to getting them, but I thought that my ideal summer outfit element would be a pair of booty shorts that said cursed object on the butt.
Does that exist?
You can get shorts custom printed with anything you would like.
Oh my god.
Please feel free to use this knowledge for chaos. That's what I intend to do whenever I get around to it.
Right? think I might go with a good old-fashioned Monty Python quote. Run away.
That checks out. Speaking of Monty Python, I found myself quoting Monty Python yesterday when I was looking for the cat.
Oh no.
I wonder where that cat did go. Cat, a cat, a kitty. Oh,
Ooh.
she didn't get it.
You know, cats famously are not fans of Monty Python.
Those furry Philistines.
I know. I think the humor is too unsubtle for them.
I don't know. My cat is not particularly subtle.
Then it's too subtle for them. One or the other. It's not the exact right level of subtlety for them.
Fair. Junie does this thing where she finds a toy and she grabs it, and then she like shrieks for a little bit just to be like, "Yeah, I'm the best hunter ever!" And she like has it in her mouth, so it's just like muffled meowing. It's very silly. It is not subtle.
No.
And then I walk in the room and she drops it and goes,
Oh
my God. I could hear you, you know.
Right. It was my victory song. It was the death song of my enemy.
She does like to sing the song for people.
Yes.
By the way, that was the end of a section, and the next section is really long. So I was in at 7:57, so I'm just gonna.
We're done.
End it there.
I only had the one little bottle, and this was a very simple but effective design that I wanted to.
Is it an acorn cap?
Yes, and it's a sort of. I didn't go for a really perfect, much more organic style of acorn cap, so more like the ones that you actually find. Oh goodness. Okay. Hermagerd. I am quite looking forward to discussing Pippin and Baragon's conversation, because that's one of the great unspoken convos in all of literature. I at some point I'll write a little fan headcanon dialogue.
Well, I'm looking forward to discussing that next week because it's coming up.
Yep, pretty quick. Well, I always think it's going to be pretty quick, and it's like 6 weeks out. But whenever it comes.
Okay, it depends how much we read, but I think it's only like 3 or 4 pages ahead. So like 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Okay.
I don't have a Palantir.
Look, if I had a Palantir, I would have made very different decisions in 2019.
That's a good point. Actually, 2019 panned out about the way I would have done it. It was my let's do all of the things year. So I got lucky.
It was good timing. But you don't have a Palantir.
I don't have a Palantir. When I look into glowing orbs, they're definitely not Palantirs.
I was like, I don't know if that's a reference to something that I'm supposed to get, or...
Absolutely not. I'm quoting my own nonsense at this point.
Sounds like a plan. Well, I will see you next week.
Okay, I love you.
I love you too.
Cuidado.
Te amas.